Welcome to Behind the Muscle podcast. Today's guest is an IFBB pro and now 2022 Olympian. Today's guest is Charles Griffen. Charles, welcome back to the podcast, my man.
Thank you for having me back, brother.
Yeah, for sure. So all of you who are tuning into this episode of Behind the Muscle podcast, quickly here, I had Charles on here a couple weeks ago after the Indy Pro. We're just going to touch base here after he qualified for the 2022 Olympia after his overall win at the Cali Pro. So if you kind of want to learn more about Charles' story, go back a few previous episodes and you can kind of find the normal, typical Behind the Muscle podcast episode. But today, I'm just going to be chopping it with Charles, kind of getting his thoughts on this last weekend's competition. So Charles, before we get into the Cali Pro, talk to me about your mindset in terms of skipping New York Pro and why you chose to kind of go from Indy straight into the Cali Pro, skipping again over the New York Pro.
You know, in my career, I've never done back-to-back shows like that, like do one show, then the following week do a next show. And it's like, I just feel like my body's not going to respond like I needed to. A lot of guys do it. That's not to say that those guys' bodies are responding perfectly and they're going to look the best they did. So, you know what I mean? Even before getting on your podcast, even before announcing that I was doing Indy, my thoughts were already, my two shows that I was doing was Indy and the Cal Pro. So even if I won Indy, I was going to do the Cal Pro. I was always going to skip the New York Pro just because a weekend between shows like that weekend, I just don't like that. I'm going to put my body first and my health first. You know, with us taking diuretics, with us doing this and doing that, I want to give my time to get back to normal, to some normalcy, you know what I mean? And then get back on that stage when I know I'm going to be able to bring my best, you know what I mean? So yeah, everybody was like, oh, I was running from blessing. I spoke on it weeks before that. I was never going to do New York Pro. You know what I mean? I'm not running from blessing because I stick to my guns. I beat blessing in Indy. And, you know, I got like some real people. Yeah, you got your people drinking the boogeyman juice saying he won this and that and that. But I got some real people that saw it on the live, that saw it at New York, and they spoke to me at the Cal Pro like, no, I don't know how that happened. You know what I mean? What I brung is I beat Blessing. So I wasn't running from Blessing. I can't wait to the Olympia where I get to go against him again, man. I'm going to eat his ass up.
Love it, man. Love it. Now, so what did your kind of routine or what did the prep kind of look like between Indy and Cal Pro? Did you guys change anything? Did you just kind of stay just right in prep like you were previous to the Indy Pro?
We stayed previous, like in prep, like we stayed to previous, like Indy Pro, you know what I mean? But what we did was we took away just a little bit of food, 30 grams of carbs. So I was eating 180 grams of carbs on my baseline diet. I got a baseline diet, and I got a high diet. So on my baseline diet, I was having 180 grams of carbs. We knocked it down to 150 grams of carbs. So after the show on Indy that Saturday, I had a burger and fry and a fried chicken sandwich. I woke up, went to the airport. I had some BS McDonald's. I had a couple of sausage egg McMuffins. I had like 6 hot cakes and sausages. I had some donuts, and that's what I had, and then got back to Minnesota, and I was right back on plan. So what we did was we stayed on prep, dropping a little bit of carbs. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I was just on a baseline diet, that low diet. And then we had a refeed on Saturday, which my body loves that refeed. And then all of a sudden the weight just starts to pummel. So I did that refeed on Sunday. My weight went up a little bit refeed on Saturday. My weight went just up a little bit Sunday. Then Monday it came down. Tuesday it came down. Woke up Wednesday. It was like, we wanted to come in sharper so we could fill up a lot more, because the critique was why Blessing beat me was he was fuller, whatever, you know what I mean? So, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to come back and we're going to come in a little sharper before like how we, before Indy, but we came in a little sharper Cal, and we pushed the food a little bit more, and that's what we did right there. So, yeah.
What, now in terms of like a refeed on that Saturday, was that just kind of like, a junk food refeed, or just kind of higher foods of what you're already eating.
It was higher foods what I was already eating, but my refeeds before Indy were like 400 grams of rice. But this refeed was a little bit different. I only had 280 grams of rice. You know what I mean? It was a lot more. It was more food than my baseline diet, but the refeed wasn't nearly as much as the refeed was, you know, before India and everything like that. So it was a controlled refeed, just more foods than what the foods I was eating. Yeah.
Makes sense. Now, what was cardio like in those 2 weeks leading up to your overall win at the Cali Pro? Was it kind of the same as well, or did you cut back or increase?
No, it was the same. You know what I mean? It was the same. I did cardio every day. I do cardio except on my quad day, except on Sunday. I don't do cardio on that day, but every other day was just 30 minutes of cardio on the bike. I just go 30 minutes on the bike on the cardio, and that's all we did for the whole prep. Yeah.
Excellent. Perfect. Okay. So I know on my podcast, when you came on after the Indy Pro, you were pretty fired up. You were dialed in, you were locked in. Does that kind of, when you have like something happen at the Indy Pro where you feel like you really should have won and you're really fired up, do you feel like that just makes you that much better in terms of an athlete and giving you more of an edge, or you feel like it kind of hinders you a little bit?
It benefited me, you know what I mean? It motivated me more. That hunger came more, you know what I mean? So I took that energy and I put that into that week in between shows to bring my best. So yeah, it fueled me for the pro. That's what it did. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So talk to us a little bit about Cali Pro. When did you get into California, and just talk about kind of the few days leading up, where your mindset was, kind of just unpack kind of the whole story behind the scenes for us, Charles.
I got into Cali Pro. I got into San Diego on Wednesday morning. Like, it was perfect, man. You know, the Airbnb that I got, it was like 7 minutes, 8 minutes from the venue, from the hotel, from the whole hotel. From the gym I went to, it was only 13 minutes from the gym I went to. Everything I needed, grocery store, everything was just like minutes away. It was perfect, man. Even to the point where I had to take my check-in pictures, because before I ate a meal, I had to send check-in photos. And where I sent my check-in photos at, the lighting and the window, it just hit perfect. Like it couldn't have been any perfect. I mean, like, everything worked out. They took care of me at the gym in San Diego. That gym had the nice posing room. It had everything I needed, man. Like, I couldn't ask for a better Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. You know, I couldn't ask for leading up to the show. I couldn't ask for any better days, man. Everything was perfect. The T, it was great, man. Yeah.
Now,
it was like,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to ask, did Matt come to this one, or was he remote?
He was remote, you know, and like after Indy, he was like, you know, New York, you know, that's rough on the body. That's rough on the body for anybody, you know what I mean? To fly to Minneapolis, 2 days later, pick up and go to New York. And he was like, we could do that. I could be there with you. We could do that. And I was like, man. And then he's like, the Cal Pro works. And he's like, but the only thing, I can't come to the Cal Pro. It was his mom's 60th birthday and everything. Like, it's one show that Matt didn't go to that we've been competing with. He's been coaching me, and that was my worst placing ever. And he couldn't come because he was having a baby. His baby was due anytime, so he couldn't come. So, and that was my worst placing ever. So right away, I'm like, no, I want Matt to be there. And he's like, buddy, you know what I mean? With Sean Clarita, there's been several shows where I haven't been with him, and we pulled it in perfect, and he got some wins. So I was like, let's do it. And that's how dope Matt is, man. He was spending family time. He was at his mom's 60th birthday on Friday. And then the day of the show, he's at the beach. He's at the beach with his family and everything like that. And it's like, he's spending quality time with his family, but he's not letting it drop with me. I'm sending him photos, and he's like, okay. He'd get right back to me, or he'd be like, give me 5 minutes. And it was like, I was on point with everything. It was like he was right there. He sent me a message like, buddy, I'm sorry I couldn't be there for you this weekend. I was like, bro, you were there for me, man. You was right there with me. You know what I mean? So no, he couldn't make it out there, but it was like he was there with me, because I didn't eat a meal without him seeing how I looked. You know, he getting up, posing, he checking on me. How you feeling, buddy? How's everything going? This and that, that and that. So it was like, it was perfect to a T, man. You know what I mean? That's how it just goes to show Like he's out there doing his thing with his family at the beach, enjoying the beach. I'm looking at his story. He's got his sons running crazy, this and that. But then I message him and he's like, boom, right there. It was perfect, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was very perfect.
For sure. Yeah. So, what did you, what did your food intake kind of look like the day of the show, if you don't mind sharing with us? Cause you know, a lot of people like myself, we're fans, right? We're never going to be in your position. So it's kind of cool to kind of see where you guys were at on competition day. So what did your food intake look like? What were some of the foods that you ate?
It's like this. Wednesday to Saturday, I had just 24 meals. Out of those 24 meals, 22 meals of those were beef. Okay. All I ate was beef, rice, and we had some extra fats. We put some fats into it. That's all that was. Like in Indie Pro, that's what I ate. I ate the same meal. So Wednesday, I had my my beef, and I had those 2 chicken meals. And then after those 2 chicken meals, every meal was the same: beef, rice. I had some eggs, and we added extra fats and everything to it. That was my whole meals. And I was eating, like, every meal was like 400 to 450 grams of rice, 150 to 170 grams of beef, and then it went down to 100 grams of beef. I was having 4 eggs with meals, like those. That's all I ate the whole time. It was like, after the show, they was like, man, you want to get a burger and fry? No, I don't want no beef, man. I want pancakes. I want some breakfast food. That's what I want, man. It was like, that's all I ate was beef. You know what I mean? And my body works good with that. How my body works is like, it's crazy. Like, I eat a meal, the meal goes down. 20 before that second meal comes, I'm in the restroom. I have a bowel movement. So that day I had 6 bowel movements. You know what I mean? Every day, every meal I eat, I go to the restroom. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, after the prejudging. I woke up in the morning with the pictures. Matt was like, whoa. He's like, these don't look like pictures when you wake up with no food. You know what I mean? So I ate a meal. What happened right away? I used the restroom. I got to the show. I had my little meal. I ate that meal before prejudging. I went to use the restroom. Got back. I ate a huge meal after prejudging. The meal was huge. I had 4 eggs, 400 grams of rice. I had 170 grams of ground beef, 100 grams of banana, a little 6 ounces of water. And that's how it was, man. It was just huge meals. But every time I ate a meal, my digestion was boom. I even did a video on Friday night where I had 5 meals in, and I showed the vacuum. I lifted up the shirt and I'm like, the digestion is great. I had to pull the fuel vacuum after eating over, like, I don't know, I was eating at that point in time, I probably had like 600-700 grams of carbs in me, you know what I mean? And the vacuum pulled in nicely. Digestion was good. So like everything was perfect, man. It was like everything was perfect. Yeah.
Now, I want to ask you about the digestion quickly, because I know a lot of bodybuilders struggle with that. Is there something that you kind of do in terms of to help you with digestion, or is it really just picking the right foods for your body?
It's just really picking the right foods for my body, because I'm not doing anything special. Like, I use the restroom a lot. I go number 2 a lot. That's what I do, you know what I mean? And it's just like picking the right foods, and Matt knows the right foods that works with my body, and that's what it does, you know what I mean? Of course, I was using Revive's digestion aid before each meal, but that's like, that's nothing, no special treat, no special weapon that we're doing this and that. Is just picking the right foods that work with my body, and that's what it was going down to, man. You know what I mean? And perfect. It worked out perfect. Yeah.
All right. So why don't you talk to us a little bit about prejudging? Did anything, out of the ordinary happen? What were you feeling like after prejudging? Share a little bit about that.
Matt texted me right before prejudging. He's like, how you get into the first call outs, buddy, is those quarter turns, your quarters. So he said, when you get out there, hit it hard. And that's what I did. I hit it hard. And it's like, the judges looked at me and it was like, I haven't never, like, Indy, I got that look. And then in Cali Pro, I got that look right when I hit that front. Boom, they looked at me like, holy shit, he's come. And I hit those quarter turns, and then I felt good. I went out there for my 45, 60 seconds by myself before they called the call outs out. And the way the judges were looking at me, it gave me more confidence on the stage. You know what I mean? Like I was hitting the poses and I stuck the poses and I wasn't shaking, I wasn't moving. Like, you know, how Blessing was doing in Indy Pro. He was doing a lot of moving in his poses and he wasn't hitting the poses and sticking the poses and everything. I told you I was gonna hit those poses like Hottie Coupon and stay in it and be in it. And that's what I did, you know what I mean? So the judges were just looking at me. So when they did the first call outs and they put me in the middle, it's like, it's always dope when you get in the first call out and they put you in the middle when it's 4. It's like a guy on this side, and it's 2 people in the middle. But the first call out had 5 people and they moved me directly into the middle, and I directly in the middle, 2 on this side, 2 on this side, and me in the middle. And that right there just gave me like the confidence. I was like, I'm not going to let them take this from me. You know what I mean? I'm going to stick every pose. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And I stuck every pose. And one thing that stuck in my mind is like, you know, I get a lot of this talk. You're hearing a lot of this talk. Does the vacuum belong in open bodybuilding? The vacuum this, the vacuum that. Why doesn't it belong in open bodybuilding? Because it makes Charles' physique look good. Because it makes my physique pop. You know what I mean? I'm seeing this everywhere. Does it belong in open bodybuilding? Why not? It's been in open bodybuilding in the era, the Arnold Schwarzenegger, all this area, the vacuum's been there. Why doesn't it belong in open bodybuilding? You know what I mean? And then another thing was, Charles doesn't hit the front ab and thigh. He just hits the vacuum at the Indy. That's what I did. So at this show, I hit the ab and thigh. I hit it. And then they were like, so at Indy, they said he hits the vacuum and then he does this side thing. But I made a point at Cali Pro, I'm going to hit the ab and thigh. Then I'm gonna hit the vacuum, and then I'm gonna do my side thing. So I'm gonna shut them up. And all these people, you still hear them like, give me my respect. It's like, give me my respect. His abs are washed out, this and that. I got a picture before I got my hernia surgery, and you can see my midsection. Okay, I got a hernia surgery, double hernia surgery, and it messed up my abs a bit. But I hit the front ab and thigh and I hit that. And they always talking about my washed out, my abs, this and that, and that. Come on, man, leave me alone with that shit. You know what I mean? At first it was bring your legs up, this and that. My legs are brought up. My legs came sliced and diced. I brought those up. Now it's, his midsection washed out. That's my weak body part. But like, every competitor didn't have no condition. Their back wasn't big as mine. They didn't have no hamstrings. They didn't have this, but it's always Charles's midsection. Get off me with that, and get off does the vacuum belong in open bodybuilding? Why not? Why not? It works for me. It works for me. So it doesn't belong in open bodybuilding because Charles hits it and it works for Charles. It's some bullshit, man. And I'm getting tired of it. I'm not gonna say names, but I messaged somebody because they're like, you know, people are talking about he doesn't hit the front ab and thigh. I message them, I send them the videos like, look at the video. I hit the ab and thigh, and then I hit my vacuum, and then I do this. So it's like, that's what, and that just get me frustrated. I had to talk about that because why doesn't it belong? You know what I mean? Yes, it belongs. It's a part of bodybuilding. You know what I mean? So yeah, after the pre-judging, they put me in the middle, and then they brought the 4 of us out, and it was just like a battle, man. Like, that was a good ass show. It was better. I feel like the competition at this show was better than Indy and better than the New York Pro. The New York Pro was that, like you said, people saying, this is not my words. They were saying that was one of the weakest New York Pro lineups ever. Cal Pro was better than the Indy, and the lineup was better than the New York Pro. That was bodybuilding right there. And that was dope, man. You know what I mean? Like, we was up there battling Shaban. You got Antonio, man, 212. I told him, like, that's one of the guys right there that was like truly happy for me, man. Like, it felt good, all the open class bodybuilders, because, you know, all of them was like, I felt true happiness from all of them, man. You know, after that, there was like, everything was cool. But Tonio, that's my man. He was real happy for me. But it was like a battle on that stage, man. It was dope, man. You know, at the pre-judging, it was just like, I'm fired up. This is dope. You know what I mean? It's like, I told Matt, let's come back sharper, whatever we got to do, this and that. So after pre-judging, it was like, that fire was lit. I'm like, oh, this is mine. I always wanted the sword, man. You know what I mean? I always wanted the sword, man. I got my sword, man. That's what I always wanted, man. I finally got my sword. I said, I'm getting that sword, man. I want that sword. After pre-judging, I was amped up, man. I was seeing the things, and then people was posting on Instagram. I'm like, finally, give me my respect. People finally saying, Charles. It's like, man, they just been knocking me. They've been knocking me. And then finally they want to jump on the wagon and be like, Charles. Like, come on, man. So it just felt good, man. It felt good. And like, got back to the crib after prejudging, and Matt was like, send me a picture. And he's like, damn, buddy, we're on. I ate a meal, used the restroom, weighed myself before the next meal. My weight was the same. My weight was lower than what it was before I ate that first meal. I ate that second meal, and now I sent him pictures. He's like, buddy, we're on. Like, everything was perfect. We were on. And I went back to finals with like focused. I was hungry, you know what I mean? I was like, I'm not, this is no games plan. I'm not talking to people. I'm not doing this. This is a business meeting. I come to handle the business, and then after that we'll talk, man. You know what I mean? So it was great, brother. It's like, I'm still excited right now. I woke up this morning just excited. My girl was like, what are you gonna do with yourself today? I'm like, shit, I don't know, man. I would just keep looking at videos and looking at pictures, and you know what I mean? That's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, man. And we went to finals, and you know, it was just like, it was on, you know what I mean? When they called me and Shaban out for the 2-man thing, it was like, Shaban, he brought it, man. That was big ups to Shaban, man. He had the surgery, came back from injury or whatnot, and he brought it, man. You know what I mean? And like, after we got done, he was like genuinely happy. You know what I mean? He placed second. But he was like, brother, you know, you deserved it and everything like that. It was just the camaraderie and the respect from all 10 of us bodybuilders. I didn't see that at Indy. You know what I mean? I didn't see that in Indy. I guarantee it wasn't like that in New York, but how it was at Cal, the camaraderie between all us bodybuilders, this and that was bodybuilding, man. Like, we all made it. We all made it. We all gave each other respect backstage. We all gave respect, and we hit that stage, and it was love, man. It was dope. It was like, that was very dope, man. Yeah.
Beautiful, dude. Now I want to ask you, Charles, from my perspective, and again, I'm just seeing it through videos and stuff, but your quads, man, like the cuts in your quads. I think of like Jay Cutler. I always go back to Jay Cutler. He had amazing quads. He had those deep cuts. I saw some really deep cuts in your quads. Is there anything in terms of your training style, in terms of bringing up your quads, getting those cuts, that you've maybe changed over the last year or two or not?
No, like, you know what? Like, my quads, like, I don't know what happened. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, Matt was like, my right quad always splits nasty, and then his left quad, it splits, but it's not. But all of a sudden, that quad just split, man. And it's like, I went into the gym like that Sunday after Indy. I went to the gym. I do the same exercises on quad day, same order, same everything. I know what works for me. You know what I mean? So I go in, I do my leg extensions. And then I go straight to the hack squat, heavy hack squats. And then I go to the horizontal leg press, And then I always finish with like the pendulum squat, or I do the V squat. But the last few weeks, I've been doing the pendulum squat. We call it Eleanor at our gym. I've been doing the pendulum squat, and then I end with the adductions and adductions. That's my routine right there. That works for me. You know what I mean? I found what works for me and everything. So, man, the splits and the quads and this and that, man, like I said, it's my time. It's my time. My body responded like it was supposed to. Like, Matt, I did everything Matt said. I did everything perfect for Indy. I did everything perfect for Cal. For instance, he told me to cut out all artificial sweeteners. I admitted to him, I said, I've never done that, those preps. Indy, I did that. Cali Pro, I did that. I stopped the stevia. I stopped the zero Gatorades. I stopped the energy drinks. The condiments, I just did hot sauce and yellow mustard. Like, I stuck to everything. I did everything perfect. So that's why I was so fired up after Indy, because I felt like I won and I did everything perfect. You know what I mean? So when it comes to the splits and the legs, man, everything just came out. I think it's just with how hard I've been training, you know what I mean? Going in there and beating the legs up and not doing all these on a hack squat, start with 4 plates on each side, 5 plates. I go 4 plates and I hop right to 7. Then I go straight to 9, and then I go straight to 10 plates, and I'm hitting it hard, you know what I mean? And I'm controlled, keeping that muscle under tension, and I'm controlled at the end of the movement. I hold it a little bit under tension and I push it out, keep it controlled, and the legs just came up, and it's just been responding, man. It's with, like I said, with keeping my weight in check and not getting up too heavy, I'm able to perform like I need to. And that's what that's what's going on with the leg splits, man. It was just, it just came out nasty. You know what I mean? Yeah. It came, and, I've been getting like, it's so dope. You know what I mean? Of course, my coach is going to tell me that. He's like, this year, like, out of all the qualifying shows, he said, because he posted the unedited photos. And he was like, this is the sharpest anybody's looked on the stage that qualified this year. And then James Hollanday just posted a video. He's like, the more and more I look at Charles' photos, he's like, that's the best quality, you know, how I looked at. He's like, that's the hardest look that's qualified this year, man. And it's like, it just, everything worked out perfect, man. You know what I mean? And I'm just excited to build on this and get ready for Olympia. One thing Matt told me was, please just don't get fat. He said, don't go eating like an asshole for the next week and a half, 2 weeks. And, you know, you blow, you know, this and that. He's like, let's get back on plan. Let's do this. I only had 3 meals, you know what I mean? I'm back on plan, this and that. So I'm just excited to build on this and, you know, jump into that. I'm looking, you know, what I'm shooting for. I'm gonna be respectful to my peers, you know what I mean? Of course, I would love to be top 5 on Cali Pro. They're like, what you gonna be doing? I'm like, I'm talking about top 8. He's like, forget top 8, let's top 5. Well, top 8 means top 5, but I'm gonna just say top 8, you know what I mean? Because if I fall in that 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th spot, you know what I mean? I don't care if I fall in that 6th, 7th, 8th spot. That's blessed, you know what I mean? I'm blessed, you know what I mean? Coming from the 13th spot 4 years later, coming up, and I'm coming down in the top 8 spot, and I really feel like I could do that with keeping my diet in check, not eating like an asshole, keeping the metabolism booming, eating the foods and doing this and doing that. I feel it's like the sky's the limit, and I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Now I wanna kind of we'll finish up here in a couple minutes, Charles. The last time you were on the Olympia stage was 2018, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so 4 years. It's going to be over 4 years because I'm assuming last time the Olympia was in September. This year's it's in December. So over 4 years by the time you step on the Olympia stage in 2022. How are you as a bodybuilder? But I want to get more than that. How are you as an individual, as a man, different from 4 years ago?
My mentality. You know what I mean? My mentality, climbing out of the hole for the last 4 years has done something to me. You know what I mean? It's like, it's done something to me. It's made my mental game that much stronger. You know what I mean? I'm coming to Olympia to handle business. You know what I mean? It's like that time when I went to Olympia, like, oh, I made it to Olympia. It's just like, I don't care if I get, of course, I didn't want to get last place, but whatever place I get, it's whatever, because I made it to the Olympia. That's over with now. You know what I mean? Now it's like, I didn't have no, like, it was my first Olympia, so it didn't matter. Whatever happens. Now this is my second Olympia. Now I got more pressure on me. I got to bring it this time. So my mentality is stronger. That last 4 years of getting knocked and telling me this, I need to fix this, and me being relentless in that and improving everything that I need to prove to get back to the big stage is going to be that much better because my mental game is that much stronger. Like it's going to be like night and day. From 2018 to 2022 is going to be night and day on that Olympia stage. Yeah, it's going to be night. I'm excited.
So what are you over the next several months? We got plenty of time, which is kind of cool. You have until December. You've got room to improve. Plenty of time. What's the schedule, the training schedule, kind of the schedule look like leading into the Olympia?
So for the next 2 weeks, Matt told me he just wanted me to do like a little pump work. You know what I mean? Let the joints and everything recover and get back to, you know what I mean? So it's like 4 to 5 workouts. So I can't do 4 workouts. I'm gonna do 5. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna take away arm day and I do a little arm workout, arm training on back and chest day or shoulder day or something like that. So for the next 2 weeks, it's just like 45-minute training sessions, get some blood in the muscles, let the body rest and everything. And, you know, we're with the gear, we're pulling back on the gear. You know what I mean? It's just like, we're just going to have a little test in and we're going to let the body recover from that. We're just going to easily push the food up. And, you know, this is the most anabolic time after a show, you know, that rebound phase. So it's like, let the body rest with the gear and, you know, start to push the food gradually, and grow that way. So that's what we're doing right now for the next 2 weeks. But after that 2 weeks, man, it's like balls to the wall. You know what I mean? I'm about to come in balls to the wall, and it's like, we about to train hard. We about to get back to my training style, and we about to push because, like you said, that's a lot of time still to improve. You know what I mean? So I got the whole month of June. I got the whole month of July, August and September. That's 4 months of proving. So then we got October, November, and December, like, because I think it's like the third week of December, right? It's something like that, the 5th through the 8th.
I think so.
So yeah, so it's like the third week of December. So I got like 4, 8, 12. I got like 15, 16 weeks of improving, and we keep it lean and keep it right to where I don't need so much time to diet, and we got some time to really make some improvements, you know what I mean? And like what I'm gonna do is I'm about to hush them up again. I'm about to go ham on training abs. I'm about to train abs like a madman because I'm sick of that. I'm about to hush them up again on the abs. I'm about to train abs like a madman. I'm just about to keep doing everything the same that I've been doing to get ready for the Indy, get ready for the Cal, and just keep it all the same. But that's one focus of mine is the abs. I'm about to really train the abs even more, you know what I mean? And I can't wait to pull that vacuum on the Olympia stage to keep throwing it in people's vacuum belong in the open class, you know what I mean? So it's on, brother. It's on. So I can't wait.
Excellent. All right, Charles. Any final thoughts, any final words that you kind of want to leave with us, and then we'll kind of wrap it up.
Man, I'm just excited, man. I appreciate, you having me on here again. I appreciate all the love and support from everybody, you know what I mean? It's just an unreal feeling to get back to the stage where I've been working so long to get back to, man. And I just want to let everybody know, like, fuck what the naysayers say and this and that, you know what I mean? Stick to your guns and keep working. And man, you know what I mean? I'm a proven fact that you pull yourself from this physique to this physique and look like, night and day difference, man. So just keep working and keep putting your grind in and watch the fruits of your labor come to life. You know what I mean? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, last question. The shirt that you have on, where can we get that shirt at?
I'm about to have some more made. The Definition Griffen shirts. I'm about to have more made. I'm about to have some stuff come out. So I'll be sure to let everybody know. It's going to be on Charles Griffen _IFBB Pro. And that's GRIFFEN _IFBB Pro. I'm about to start coming out with some more shirts because I got to see some people rocking that at the Olympia, man. I got to see them rocking at the Olympia. So yeah. Okay. And I'll be sure to make sure I send you one, my man. I'll take care of you. Make sure I send you one.
Hey, that's cool. I was just gonna say I'm gonna buy one for myself. I absolutely love just the changes that you've made to your physique, man. I love your mentality, and you're in Minnesota. I'm in Iowa, so it's always good to catch up with an IFBB pro in the good old Midwest, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, Charles, thank you again, man, for taking some time. Maybe after the Olympia, we'll get you back on for round 3 and just kind of talk about your thoughts in terms of the Olympia. Does that sound good?
Sounds good, brother.
Okay. All right. All of you who are tuning into Behind the Muscle podcast today, thank you so much. Just here quickly, make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube. And finally, I will leave you all with this. Remember, behind the muscle, there's always a story. We'll catch you guys later.